Hey, this is Mike Renoir, Northwest Fight Scene, NWFightScene.com. I'm here on the phone with Austin Springer, a few days out from your next fight at Titan FC 35 in Ridgefield, Washington. How are you feeling?
Good. You know, I'm at the point in the fight camp where I'm ready for the fight to be here. You know, I'm tired of the training. I'm tired of doing all the extra stuff. I'm ready to get in there and see if the hard work's going to pay off the way I hope it does.
Now, Steven Seiler, your opponent, he's obviously a tough guy, a UFC veteran. Talk about him.
You know, the way that I kind of explain it is he is my golden ticket. He is the best fight I feel I can get outside of the UFC. You know, he's fought there 9 times. He's fought a couple top 10 guys. He kind of beat the guys he's supposed to, lost to the guys that he's supposed to. He's kind of, that gatekeeper type, and I'd like to, walk on through that gate and get my name seen on the big stage. So I'm hoping that with a dominant performance over him on, UFC Fight Pass in front of those millions of people, that it gets me to where I'm looking to go.
This fight's at 145, right?
It is.
Before we get in, we're going to talk about Tough as well, which was 155. And this, the Ultimate Fighter, when you were on the show, 155, and I thought, wow, Austin Springer, 155, because I always think of you as a 135 guy. What's your feeling about that with the weight classes?
The perfect world for me is, they do an Ultimate Fighter at 145 pounds. I can make that, every 10 days or however often it is that they have you weigh in. But, they were offering 155 pounds. And, my goal is to be a world champion, and I'm not going to let 10 pounds get in the way of it.
Right.
So I went out, tried out, made it on the first section of the show, and, it didn't go my way. It is what it is. I think 9 times out of 10, that fight goes a little differently. It was just a very, very weird, off fight for me. Not taking anything away from my opponent. He performed well. He did a great job in itself. But, it is what it is. I'm moving on. I got a big fight ahead of me. And, that was a great experience, a great learning experience. And I hope to grow from it.
Right on. Now, I wanted to talk about the experience. Obviously going down there and not knowing who you're going to fight. What was that like for you? Just those few days you were down there.
Man, the way I try to explain it to people is when you're down there, before they start the actual taping, you get down there about a week early, and you're in a hotel room, and you have to stay in that hotel room unless you have a chaperone. They don't give you a room key, so that way you can't go off and do something. If you want to go to the fitness center at the hotel, you have to call production office. If you want to go down to the restaurant, you have to call production office. If you want to go to the pool, you have to call production office. They'll send somebody up there to take you down, and they'll say, well, I'll be back at this time, don't leave. So it was a whole bunch of, it was like a really, really glorified prison. I can stay in my room and I can watch TV and I can play cards by myself. And then, come fight day, you found out the day before who you're fighting. And, I was excited for it. I felt like it was a good matchup for me. I was confident going into it. The warm-ups had nothing to do with me losing, but the warm-ups were a little weird because the way they do it is all the U.S. guys fight first. So what they do is they have, Faber's coaches in one locker room, Connor's coaches in another locker room. So I had Connor's coach,
right?
Not coaches. He only had one coach there. So what it was he would come back, grab the next guy fighting, go out and corner him. So we had nobody warming us up back there,
right?
Which was weird. It had nothing to do with the outcome of the fight. It was just little weird stuff that happened during the day. Luckily, I know Julian Arosa a little bit, so we were able to work out a little bit with each other. He helped pad for me and helped warm me up. So, it worked out. It was just first time something like that has happened, and you gotta just roll with the punches.
Sure. Now, obviously, we watched the fight against Grutzemacher, and a lot of knees. I think the UFC tweeted something out. How many knees did he land? And I saw you responded a lot. So obviously, a sense of humor that you have. a few months after. How was it afterwards? I mean, like, immediately afterwards, you got to go home. You can't tell anyone the outcome. What was that like those past few months?
Heartbreaking. All the while, everyone's still messaging me on social media or texting me, hey, how did the trials go? Have you heard back? And I'm already back, licking my wounds, but I can't tell people. So it's like, and then it comes out and it's the announcement that I made the show, and everyone's like, oh yeah, you're going to do awesome. I'm so excited to see it. I did it the whole time. I know I failed. I know I didn't make it. And it's like, again, I can't say anything, so I got to kind of hype it up and make people want to watch, get them excited for it, to help the show out.
Right.
All the while knowing that the next stage that comes is the grieving. That everyone's, oh, you did good. I'm sorry. You'll make it. You'll show up. You'll still get there. And it's like, I know ahead of time what people are going to be saying. It's like I'm preparing for it. And as soon as the fight aired, all of a sudden it's just notification after notification on my phone, just blowing up, and I'm like, I'm glad it's over with.
Right.
I'm excited to get this fight underway. I'm excited to then have my phone blow up this Saturday night with, oh, I knew you were going to do it. You did excellent. UFC's falling. Blah blah blah. That's the next stage that I'm looking forward to.
Right on. Now, talk about the camp for this fight. Obviously, you've known that you have the fight. You've had, I imagine, a full training camp. Talk about who you've been working with.
The majority, I've been doing a lot of private lessons since I got back. Working with Ian Loveland and Andy Minster. Andy was the youngest U.S. national boxing head coach, one of the best boxers in the world, four-time national champ, multiple-time gold glove champ. Can't say just enough good stuff about him. And probably the most underrated mixed martial arts coach, Ian Loveland. And I feel like, within the next couple of years of the guys that he's working with, the guys like myself, Ricky Simone, Jake Smith, Mike Pierce, Dave Jansen, Pat Healy, I feel like the next 1 to 2 years, a lot of us are going to make a lot of big splashes, and all of a sudden, Ian's name's going to start getting mentioned more and more for being such an elite coach. He's really stepped into a great role. He's been a huge what's the word I'm looking for? Advancement, I guess, in my training of working with him one-on-one a couple times a week. And that's not taking away from any of the other coaches. Everybody out of Rose City and, the coaches at Vancouver Elite Martial Arts have been awesome at helping me prepare. All the coaches at my gym have been awesome at stepping up and, filling in classes so I can get my training in. It's just been, I don't want to sound like cliche, like, oh, I've had the best camp ever, like everyone says, but it's been a very good camp. I'm going into this fight very confident. Skills are sharp, mind's sharp, weight's on point. Going good.
All right. Hey, well, talk about that too. Your gym. You're a gym owner, obviously. You were Gladiator MMA. You just kind of changed names. Talk about that.
Well, not a lot of soccer moms and not a lot of parents or young kids want to learn martial arts at a gym that's called Gladiator MMA. I'm still young, but I was fairly young, 23 when I opened the gym, and I wanted a really cool name, and so I chose Gladiator, not knowing, a ton about marketing or demographics, and, I kind of looked at it as like, I feel like I could be doing a lot more with this, so I wanted a more inviting name, a less intimidating name, a name that, kind of says that we're for everyone. It's not just for fighters, it's for kids, it's for moms, for dads, for average Joes, it's for fighters, it's for, gym rats, for everybody. Everybody can get something out of it, whether, you want to train to be a fighter or you want to, come into a kickboxing cardio class.
And now it is called Vancouver Elite Martial Arts, is that right?
It is.
Okay, and where is it located?
It's right down Highway 14 in Vancouver, kind of in between I-5 and 205.
Okay.
Nice big building. It kind of turned into a giant sports complex. There's my conditioning coach is actually in the same giant building. It's a really open layout. It used to be like a club volleyball gym, so it's just completely wide open. So there's a field day sports conditioning. There's a gal that does like boot camps for moms. There's the MMA portion. They're talking about a couple different companies coming in, like a massage therapist, a chiropractor, and a supplement company. So it's going to be like an all-in-one sport complex. Hopefully within the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to fill out the place and really get it rocking.
Awesome. Well, that sounds great. Well, obviously, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you have some people that you want to give a shout out to, so go ahead.
You know, I've been really lucky to have some of the sponsors that I have. You know, when I'm up, they're there. When I'm down, they're there. You know, a lot of them really helped me get to the Ultimate Fighter, and you know, I couldn't thank them back then because I couldn't tell anybody I was on it. But companies like Vitality Chiropractic, they helped me get there. FOI Lab, Karma Fight Gear, Devil's Playground, they all, you know, at the drop of a dime, transferred money for me to get there. And then other companies that have, you know, jumped on board recently, like Gainers Automotive, Royal Barbershop, Eccentric, Crystal Garcia Photography, Shane Martin Photography, Mountain View High School Wrestling Team, Max Muscle, Farmers Insurance, Dethrone, Purely Yours Photography, Ambiance Tan, Devil's Playground, Heathen Brewing. I want to thank my management company, Jason House and Iridium Sports. I want to thank Hula Boy as well as Rose City. I really appreciate everyone's support. You know, fighting is a very difficult, time-consuming, mentally draining sport, and you know, it's really tough for people to get to where they want to go in this sport. And to be quite honest, the rewards when you get to the highest level still aren't that great. So any little bit that sponsors like these do is extremely appreciated on all levels. I really thank them a lot for everything they do for me.
Awesome. Well said. And you are on Twitter at Austin Springer, is that right?
Yep, and then Instagram is Austin Springer MMA, and then Facebook is Austin Springer's Athletic Page. All
right. Well, hey, I appreciate your time again, Austin, once again. Fighting this Saturday night at the Clark County Events Center, Richfield, Washington, Titan FC 35 versus Steven Seiler. Look forward to seeing it in there.
I appreciate it. If anybody needs tickets, I put it off for sale. If you can't make it there, you can download the UFC Fight Pass for a free 7-day trial, and you can watch it Saturday night, Richfield, Washington.